Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Talks and Tea with me, Tonya Nicole. I am so excited to be here today. And if you are just joining us, come on in, say hello in the chat. Maxine, say hello really quickly. I'm going to change my camera really quickly.
Hello, everyone. Good evening, good day, or wherever you are. Hello.
Excellent. So I have a very special guest. This is Mrs. Maxine Johnson, and I'm going to tell you more about her as we get started. But as you're trickling in, go ahead and tell us where you're from, tell us what you're drinking, and we're going to share with you all what tea we brought to our talk today. And we're going to talk about our mug. So Maxine, tell me about your tea and your mug.
Okay, so before it is steaming hot, I am sipping on soursop tea.
Nice.
With a splash of honey, not too much. And my mug says, "Don't let anyone dull your sparkle. Shine, girl, shine."
I needed that today because when I tell you I have had a doozy of a day, I appreciate and welcome your mug wholeheartedly. I love it. I love it.
Wink, wink. I know. Wink,
wink. So exactly. So mine, I have this cute little, I did it again. I yelled to the kids. Maxine heard me today and I was like, grab me some tea. Right. So they brought me this cute little cup that says rise and grind. And I love it because it's so on target because as we get closer to the She Empowerment Conference, when I tell you every moment it's rising, it's staying focused on that grind.
Yeah.
I love it. And I'm drinking the Love Spell again from Morphia Teas. Nice. So we have to try our teas. You already tried yours, didn't you?
I did.
She made it right. I never know because I like a lot of honey. What is it?
It's so good. I love it. And then I had this mug for a long time, but I haven't used it. It was a gift actually. And a woman I really admire. She's an author. She's a leader. She's a ministry. She's a psychologist.
Oh, wow.
And she said, "I have something for you." And she gave this to me. And I was like amazed. And she didn't have to say anything else. Everything.
Right.
And so I wanted to share it with everyone else.
I love it. I feel the same way. You don't have to say anything else. Like, I need that mug today. So as we get started, really quickly, I'm going to play our little intro and we're going to jump right into this wonderful conversation with my special guest today.
Thank you.
So I'm excited because I was finally able to do it. I usually struggle with sharing it on the different platforms.
Yeah.
So it's going. I finally did it. All right. So we are here today and we have Miss Maxine Johnson. And one of the things that I really like about her, not only because of what she has done, but what she currently is doing. And she's amazing. So Maxine Johnson is a speaker. She's an author, coach, and pastor. She's also a mother and a wife. And she has found a way to uniquely blend her expertise as a senior pastor, as a senior person in HR leadership, as well as being a mother and a wife at home. And she has made a complete business off of helping people learn how to balance those two. So welcome, Maxine. Give us a little bit of background about yourself.
Thank you. Well, thank you so much, Tonya. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here and to share with all of you. So a little bit about me. I think most of it is there. Speaker, author, coach, transformational coach, and I'm also a pastor. And one thing about it is I am a mom. My husband and I have 5 children, and they're all adults. So we're like a blended family. And so a lot of things you learn from that, and particularly being a female leader. And so even with that, through some challenges, you learn some things, and so you try not to stay in the challenges. And so you learn from it and say, you know what? And then you have conversations with other women in similar situations, and you encourage one another. And then I found myself coaching women in the similar circumstances, and outside of that, they haven't even been married. They've been in relationships. And so, you did tell me to tell a little bit about myself. What else you want to?
No. That's great. That's great. That's because you gave that idea of the unique balance of being a leader professionally and then being a leader at the home, but what that looks like in the balance. So you have a organization called Wife Boss Academy.
Mm-hmm.
Did y'all hear what I said? Wife Boss Academy. I love that name. How did you come up with that name, and what are the origins of what you do in this business?
Sure. So that name came up because of who I am. In that I am a boss. And when I'm saying I'm a boss, I'm not saying it from a perspective of me being a dictator. I'm saying it from a perspective of I love the model, the servant leadership model, that I serve others. So I serve others in a capacity of ministry. As Tonya said, I am a senior pastor at Metropolitan AME Church right outside of Philadelphia. It's in Lansdowne. And I also am a senior manager in human resources. I won't name the company, but it is a 20,000 plus organization. And so with that being said, you find yourself to have a lot of, or for me, I had a lot of, responsibility in serving others, and also being responsible for the overall well-being, whether it's of employees and or of congregation. And so that even expanded from that. I like, even from the ministry, I was appointed to be a chairperson over 70 churches for Christian education. So that was a leadership role. I had leadership roles in community service organizations. So I wore all these leadership hats, and I'm just like, wow, that's a lot, right? And then I come home trying to be the boss. Now it switches, right? Because when I'm out there, I'm a servant leader. And then when I come home, I'm like, I'm a boss. This is what we're going to do to my husband. And he, frankly, checked me quite a bit.
I love it. I love it. So we're not going to get into that, because a part of her signature talk when she is speaking on our She Empowerment Conference coming up this week, she's going to talk to you all about that. And she's going to give you tips on how to balance it. So we're not going to tell.
No, I gave them just a taste of the batter. Just
I know. I want to hear more, but no, we cannot, because it's going to be so much sweeter when you come to the She Empowerment Conference. And so if you want to know more about balancing the idea of being a wife and being a leader professionally, come and see Maxine at the She Empowerment Conference. So Maxine, you talk about these things, and I think they're really good. They talk about your origin, your background, having a blended family. What are some lessons that you've learned so far with your experiences?
Quite a bit. The one thing that I learned was, the biggest thing, without giving away so much, is a lot of the characteristics that I have in leadership, in leading others and being a servant leader, they were transferable in my home. That's one of the biggest lessons. Switch it up, change it a little bit. However, when you look at the foundational characteristics, you apply them similarly in your home. I'll give you just one little taste, just one example,
Wet the whistle.
So as a servant leader, one of the biggest things in leadership is that we are all charged, or we'll say, what makes the best leaders? There's like, great leaders are great listeners, right?
Right.
So if great leaders are great listeners, however, I'll say the things that I learned when I went home, I wasn't listening. I was just talking.
Okay. This is good. Yeah.
Go ahead. No, go, Tonya.
This is good. Right. Save it. But I think this is really good, because a lot of people, and especially a lot of women, we have that idea that we just need to take care of things. Whether it's taking care of the house, taking care of the kids, taking care of whatever needs to be done, that oftentimes we lose sight about transferring the roles, so to speak, when we're there. I was a single parent for many, many years.
Mhm.
And I think even that translates in relationships as well. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Oh, absolutely. Because this is, you've heard me say it before. This is my second and last marriage. I'm not done. And so I was married before. So there was a gap of time that I was single, that I was running a household. It was just me and my sons and I. It was just us three. And so when you have that, and you had teenage boys, I had a schedule, you had football, you had track, you had basketball, you had cross country, you had all of these schedules. You had to make decisions. The sink is broke, I had to get it fixed like fast. There's no waiting, there's this and that. So you had all of that compounded, that you're running a whole household. Look at it at text time. I was the head of the household for a very long time.
Right.
And so then when you get into a relationship and you start dating, and then that means that you have to collaborate with someone else on decision making. And that was a challenge.
I really like that. And I also feel like this is very prevalent to women, but I also feel like, and I'm not trying to pigeonhole you, but I feel like this a lot of times is a stigma that is placed on women of color. And so I really believe that your message speaks volumes, because it's not saying, hey, it's just okay to just continue and everyone else is wrong. But you really challenge us to look at ourselves in order to kind of create the life that we want to live.
Absolutely. Well said. Think about it, Tonya. You have girlfriends, and you have your girlfriend talks, and you sitting around, and we can go for hours about what they did and did not do. Hours.
Yeah.
I know I have. And we will run them up and down the pole, what you did and what he did. And what your girlfriends are going to do, they're going to chime in and cheer you on and tell you how wrong your boyfriend, your spouse, whomever, if you share that.
Right.
And you all come together, and I'm just going to be real, like, you start to bash your men in your life. And think about it too. Here I am, a mother. I gave birth to 2 boys.
Right.
So what does that look like, right? I'm bashing men, but I gave birth to 2 sons. Like that just didn't go together. So it just kind of made me reflect on, I can't necessarily change him, but I surely can change me. But I only utilize that more so in a marriage. So, or if you're dating and you date, I get it. But when this comes down, it's serious, that it's a long-term going into marriage relationship, you're going to get married. You really, sometimes we have to do Michael Jackson, start with the man or the woman in the mirror.
I love that. Okay. So you brought something up that really made me think. So I'm going to pivot, because if people want to hear you talk about this subject, they have to come see you at the She Empowerment Conference. However, a spin off of what you just said is, what is our responsibility as sisters to empower one another and to make sure that we are being authentic, but also supportive in a positive way of other women that might be going through something within their relationships?
I think the one thing about it is that, of course, we don't want to, lessons learned. I've been on all sides. Let me start by saying that. I've been on sides of divorce, breakups, and everybody's coming at me. I've been on the side where a girlfriend, she's going through something, and I've been on that side speaking to her. And it doesn't do any of us any good, right? So to be supportive and be positive, as to focus on her. What do you want? What do you need? How can I support you? I don't want to talk about him. I want to talk about you.
I love that.
Yeah, because we waste too much time talking about him, and we're sitting around angry, not speaking to him when we see him on the street or out and about. And he went on about his very business, and all of our blood pressures are up, and we're all mad at him, and he's like going on with his own life. So it's like, ugh.
You are telling the truth, because let me tell you, like, I am loyal to a T. And if you mess with one of my close sisters, it's just, I'm working on it. I'm working on it. But when I was younger, it was just like, cut you off. I am done with you for life.
You're not by
like, oh,
yourself.
that's what godly. Huh?
No, look, I still have issues with that.
Yeah. Oh, so do I. Like, I
still have
struggle.
issues with that. That's why it's hard. I think in some of my good girlfriends, they know certain things you might not want to tell me. Or that my collar, as they say, might come off. I don't know, because we're protective of of those that are dear to our heart. We're very protective of them.
I love that. I love that. This conversation is really good. I like this. I feel like it's not going to happen this year, but I feel like in the coming years I want to do some panels where we sit and we really talk about these topics, because these are some phenomenal issues that we really do need to address, that question of sisterhood and supporting one another.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we talk about what are the things you've done. What are some of your favorite moments in working, either professionally as it relates to your 9 to 5, or professionally or spiritually as it relates to pastoring, or as it relates to the Wife Boss Academy? What are some of your favorite moments that you can think back to?
My favorite moments, and it crosses all 3 areas. It crosses Wife Boss Academy. That's where my coaching platform is. So it crosses there. In pastoring, you're always coaching, helping, and doing whatever to encourage folks. And also as an HR leader, is when you help someone realize their full potential. When that light bulb goes off for them, that is, I mean, I have a gazillion stories that speaks that you're not, it's not a punitive conversation. It's just asking them those questions that they will get it. That they was like, wait a minute, I am wonderful. I'm great. They get it. I didn't have to tell them that. I just asked them questions, but they got it. And that is the light bulb that goes off, that when they realize that I'm not a caterpillar anymore, I'm a butterfly. I love it.
I just had someone tell me about, he used the reference of the caterpillar and the butterfly, but he used it in a way that I hadn't heard before. And he said the caterpillar looked up to the butterfly and said, "You've changed." And I was like, wow. And then he said the butterfly's response was that we're supposed to. Yes. And so I really feel like that goes with what you're saying, because a lot of times people don't realize we're supposed to change.
Absolutely.
So what do you think? Reflect on that and take it a little further for us.
Sure. I mean, we're not supposed to be in the same place and expect different results. I mean, one thing that I talk about all the time for those that are close to me, people in my church and around, like, mediocrity is like no longer accepted. And so when you're looking for growth and advancement for yourself, you can't live in this world of mediocrity, right? That's the one thing. And so that's the whole premise around the caterpillar and butterfly. You're going to change, and even your circles might change, right?
Right.
Your circles may even change. Who you used to be with, they, not to say you're no longer friends, you hate each other, you won't speak, but you're just not on the same level. There was a couple that I spoke to a little bit ago, and they're looking to get married, and we were talking, and one of the things they shared with me was just that they're looking to grow. And what they found was people that they used to hang with, they're just not there. The conversations are different. The goals are different. When you start talking about goals, or you and I know when we talk about wins, what does that look like? It's different. Right. And so when you talk about, so you're supposed to grow, where they say, oh, you sound different. You look different. Oh, absolutely. I should. I love that. Yeah, the core of Maxine is here. Yeah. But what I'm looking for and what I'm looking to do is different. And it's okay.
That's awesome. So tell everybody, what are the services that you offer in your business, and how can they connect with you?
Sure. So the services I offer in my business is coaching. And so I have coaching programs in my business where I support females. I'm totally with females. You don't necessarily have to be married or in a relationship, but coaching around leadership or even around harmonizing that whole thing around relationship and leadership. And what does that look like in coaching women through that process? The other thing is, as I mentioned to you, I'm an author. So I also wrote a book several years ago, or wait, where are we? 2018, 2019. Yeah. It's called Helping a Sister, and it's the 5 critical components to creating global change. And that whole book is pretty much about a little bit about my life and my background and how that sisterhood of women throughout the course of my life have helped and developed me where I am today. So that's the other thing. And as I said, I minister and I pastor, so I wear a couple of hats, and I'm just excited what the future holds. And if anyone wants to look and find me, I can be found on social media platforms. www.wifebossacademy.com. That is the website. I know I was going to social media.
I got you. I was just giving them direction.
Appreciate you. So you can just go there, and the social media sites are there. So that's one thing, just to come to check me out. We could talk, we could schedule talks, whatever. I just believe it's another opportunity for us as women to look at ourselves and to develop ourselves in a different way, because the skills that we have, and we say in HR, is transferable skills. There's a lot of things that we do that we don't apply at home, or we don't apply in certain aspects, but it's applicable. So I would like to help women to get there and find that.
I love that. And I love how you take the leadership skills that you use in your everyday profession and transfer them to using the same leadership skills at home, because not always do we translate them or transfer them when we're at home. And it's unfortunate that sometimes the people closest to us get that short end of the stick, and it's just like, oh, I'm just moving, just let's go. So that's a really good thing. I'm excited about this. So we have you as one of our speakers and presenters at the She Empowerment Conference. And I'm going to change our banner at the bottom really quickly so that if you have not registered, you can register today for the She Empowerment Conference at sheempowermentconference.com. You can see Maxine as well as all of these other phenomenal speakers, presenters, and it's not just going to be sitting listening to speakers. That's only one portion of this entire weekend. We have activities, we have movement, we have morning exercise. It is going to be back-to-back fun, but it's also going to be something that you can plan around. So go online, look at the schedule, see how flexible that schedule is to work into what your day is already set up to be, whether it's chaotic or whether you're working around children. Set aside some time for you to enjoy this weekend. Maxine, what are you most looking forward to for this weekend, next weekend at the She Empowerment Conference?
I'm thinking, well, this weekend.
Right, not this weekend.
I am looking forward to just being filled with encouragement, empowerment, and just some inspiration from fellow speakers. I'm interested in hearing perspective from the male panel that you have. I think that is a really, really dope move. I know I like using that word. That's just like, that is so dope, right? And so I'm really excited about that. I'm a little disappointed I can't exercise right now, but I'm
right.
But
you gotta heal first.
I gotta heal. I'm in the reserve is most, but I'm excited about all of it. But I'm really looking forward to just sitting and just hearing the other speakers and what they will have to pour not only into me, because I want to be poured into, but I want all of you to be poured into. I think it's going to be phenomenal. I know it's going to be great and amazing. I just know it. Like, I just know it. I'm in expectation of it. Like, for me, like, I'm being selfish about it. I'm looking for me.
Right. I'm right there with you. I'm so excited. I mean, it is a lot of work, but I'm excited. It's going to be fun.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh,
I feel like COVID has kind of, or 2020 COVID, whatever we want to blame it on, it has kind of changed what fun looks like for us. But
yes.
this is going to be a weekend of just fun. I feel like it's what we've been longing for, 2020, to bring something positive, something fun, something refreshing. And so this is really cool. You're the first person that has said the male exclusive panel, which I find funny. Most people, but I think it's going to be good.
Wife, meaning wife.
I love it. Yeah, most people, I think they don't always have access to hearing the male opinion. Mm-hmm. And so I say this to us in the background, but I don't like women's conferences that are full of men speakers. That's just my personal opinion. I don't. But I do. Yeah, but I do think that a man's perspective is valued, and so that was the catalyst behind doing the male exclusive panel, so that they can have access. I have a big brother, and I have lots of boy cousins, so I've always had access to hearing really candid male opinions, but everybody doesn't have that.
Oh, that is so, no, they don't. I'm with you, Tonya. I have one brother. Mm-hmm. I have a sister, but I have a brother. But growing up, it was me, my brother, and my two male cousins. So I was around boys all the time. And so that's why I like football. It was like two televisions in the house, one in the parents' bedroom, one downstairs. My mom slept upstairs in the bedroom. That means don't bother her. She worked at night. So don't bother her during the day. That meant I had to sit downstairs and watch whatever my father watched, which was football. So that's why I'm into football. And my sons play football. So I got to know it and be in it. And you saw me on the sidelines, and I assisted the coaches. I was Coach Max.
You were that mom. I love it. I love it.
And I tell people, Tonya, I was not a football mom. No, I was not.
Right.
I had to correct people. I'm not a football mom. But football moms give out oranges.
Oh, okay.
I didn't give out oranges.
Oh man, that means I wasn't one either, because I'd be the one yelling.
Yes. 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 When the coach yelled at them and they started to cry, and they would say, "Go over there with Coach Max," I would take them and say, "You better not cry." And I'm not. That's a whole nother subject. But I was the one helping with weigh-in. I would help with, I was on the sidelines next to the coaches. So I was
right there with you.
All right.
My daughter was picking on me. Yeah, we're right here, because and I think it might be partly having that brother and that male influence. Because I often laugh. I'm like, I'm not girly at all. My daughters are girlier, but I'm not girly. And so they pick on me because I'm very much of that mentality. Judge if you want to, whatever, raise your own kids. I'm raising mine. But I'm like, shake it off, get up and get moving. Are you hurt or are you injured? Like, there's a difference. Now give me the drama.
Listen, Tonya, same here. My son, he would try to cheat on his exercises.
Mm-hmm. You made him do double, didn't you?
Oh, I told. That's why they got me on. I said, I'm telling. Excuse me. He only did. He was like, "Mom, I can't believe." Oh, yes, I did.
But it keeps him honest.
It did. And what I would say that, let me just say this to those out there. I know you're an advocate for children. I just want to be clear. When I told these little boys at the time, they were like 8, 9, 10, 11, don't cry on the sidelines. It wasn't that they couldn't cry. I was just telling them that because the opposite team would see them crying and they would use it to their advantage. So I would tell them, don't let the other kids.
You don't have to justify.
I just want to make sure, because you don't know who's watching. You don't know who's watching.
I know, but and they're gonna come on and they're gonna make their comments. But make your comments. I raise my kids, you raise yours. And
we'll lift it up.
Exactly. And there are times when, go ahead and do your thing and shed your tears. And there are also times where you just need to get it together.
Oh yeah. Oh, I have many shut up moments. We have many long drive home, and oh yeah, high school, even through high school. Oh
my goodness.
High school games. Oh, I was terrible. I was the loudest or one of the loudest. See, Tonya, that's why we met just this year, because we would be the two crazy assistant coaches, not football moms.
I know. No. Yeah. I mean, and I can do like I can do, no, I won't say it. I always say I don't do the warm and fuzzy. Like my kids say I'm loving and all that stuff, but I'm not the warm and fuzzy. Like we're not about to sit here and have this, I don't know, feel a good moment. But I will give you everything. I'll give you the shirt off my back. Like I will love you and I'll hug and kiss, but I'm not, ooh.
That's my baby. You not, that's my baby. Yeah, I'm not a that's my baby mom either.
Oh my goodness. It's just like, okay. But, you know, hey, I think as parents, we have to, one of the things I often say is, as long as you are not abusing, neglecting, or abandoning your kids, like those are the three things, yet that's a no-go, then parenting isn't perfect. And so oftentimes it's like one person judges somebody else because they do something different. Different doesn't always mean wrong. It just
exactly
is different.
And that's the one thing that we do and we have to be careful about, is that inserting ourselves into someone else's home, someone else, how they're raising their children, if they're not doing those things, right? That neglect or abuse, inserting ourselves with our opinions, even so much. Okay, I'm going back to the relationship piece, because you'll insert yourself into I'll say this, insert yourself into that relationship and give your opinion. And then he finds out and they're back together. And then he's looking at you crazy. So it's like, we have to be careful in what we say about other people's children, spouses, partners. It's not our place. That's why I go back to, what can I do to support you?
I like that. I like that. And oftentimes for me, I wait. If you're asking my opinion, I'll share it. And that's what I teach my kids. You don't, because a lot of people come up with this idea, well, it's the truth. Well, okay. But if I ask you for your opinion, please share and please be authentic in your sharing. But if I don't ask, it's okay for you to keep it to yourself. Even if it is the truth, it's your truth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. We'll be in here because we probably could chit chat a lot longer. So
yes, I love that. I love that. But okay, so all of you, yes, exactly. Y'all can't dull our sparkle. We won't dull yours. And that's really the gist of what we're saying. As parents, as mothers, as leaders, as women, one of the things we want you to do is to feel celebrated as you all are here. I love it. My cousin came on and she said, proud of you, Cuzzo. Thank you so much, Candy. And that's really what it's all about. It is about us supporting one another and us empowering one another.
Yep.
And yes, we just had a conversation, but the conversation fits right along our theme, and that is unfiltered and uncensored. And I believe when we come to the place where we can speak more authentically and a place of pureness and who we actually are, then we can start to work through breaking down some of these barriers that we put in between us, creating, strong relationships of sisterhood.
Absolutely. Because sometimes we wear a mask and we keep that mask on.
Girl, yes. And they are not the COVID mask. Let me throw on my mask just to do a plug. What? She has masks.
Yeah, we're not. We talking about pre-COVID. We're not talking about COVID mask.
Not the she mask.
Not the she mask. Not that one. Yeah, but they hide behind something. Yeah,
I agree. Marcia says, "Ladies, this is good stuff." Thank you, Marcia. Hey. And this really is because it is about us taking off those masks, removing those things that we are putting on, whether it's us, whatever, the lives that we create, the boxes that we create, the false stories that we tell ourselves, but moving beyond those in order to be authentic with one another in our interactions, as well as your expertise of being authentic as we come and look at balancing and finding peace in our relationships. So
yeah.
I love that.
That's important.
I have one thing that I have been asking our speakers to do to end out. Using the word she, whether it's she is or she can, whatever, using the word she, what are you, what is your charge for the people out there about this coming She Empowerment Conference and all of the goodness that's going to be incorporated within? Who is she?
All right, I got it. It just hit me. She will shine. So don't let anyone dull your sparkle.
I love that. I love that.
She will shine.
Shine. That's, I mean, there's nothing else to say. She will shine. We're going to go out with our exit video and then we're going to come right back. We're going to say goodbye. And I appreciate you coming and joining us. Let's watch the video for our She Empowerment Conference.
Yeah.
Yay! I love it when people are jamming in the background with me. All right. If you all are joining us now, or if you have been with us, we have been talking with Miss Maxine Johnson, speaker, author, coach, pastor, and so much more. She is the leader of the Wife Boss Academy. And if you would like to connect with Maxine, first of all, sign up and register for the She Empowerment Conference at sheempowermentconference.com. But also you can connect with her. Scrolling below is her website, Wife Boss Academy. I can't even talk. I mix all my words together. Wife Boss Academy. Go see her, find out all of the good things that she has to offer. Before we end, and I will change the scroll so you can see the She Empowerment Conference so you can register. But Maxine, tell us what's coming up on your calendar besides the She Empowerment Conference. How can people see you?
They can see me. Oh, wow. I have a couple of things coming up. I can't, I'm not even thinking about it right now. So my goodness. So I know I have the She Empowerment Conference. I have the Deeper Women Conference that's coming up this month. I will be, I know I'm doing a couple podcasts, but if you go to my website, I'll update it and make sure so you can see what's happening with me. But I will also, if you also could look on social media platforms, on Instagram, I'm at Maxine L. Johnson on Instagram. And you can find me also on Facebook, Maxine Johnson, or on my fan page, Maxine Speaks.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Thanks, Maxine. And so she's got so much going on, y'all. She can't even remember. So if you want to know about Maxine, you need to just join in. Send her your email, wifebossacademy.com, because as you see, she is booked. She's on a roll. So if you want to get a piece of her, register for the She Empowerment Conference and go check her out on her website. Her website is wifebossacademy.com, and you want to check her out. All right.
I forgot, Tonya, I do have a webinar coming out.
Nice.
Tell us. The webinar is November, I want to say the 15th of this month, 15th or 16th. Go to wifebossacademy.com. The webinar is there and we'll get that to you. But can I say thank you, my sister? I'm excited for you. Thank you so much for your energy, your love, and your support. And this is what sisterhood is all about. When I tell you, I just met Tonya several months ago when she was like, we're going to be friends. And I was like, okay. And so I really appreciate your spirit, all your love and your support. And when this COVID thing is over, we will get a big hug. But right now, I'm going to send you a virtual hug. And thank you so much.
Oh, my pleasure, my honor. I am so happy to be a part of this wonderful sisterhood as well. And I think it's going to shine at the conference and it's going to shine beyond because we found each other. You can't get rid of me that easy. So for you all out there, find out more about her. This webinar is going to be really awesome. Check it out. We'll be putting up more posts about that. So check out the She Empowerment webpage or our private group, and we'll make sure to put up her webinar so that you can sign up for it, especially if you're looking, as I say, to go from where you are to where you want to be in balancing that professional and that personal life. Go ahead and find out more about the Wife Boss and the Wife Boss Academy. Miss Maxine Johnson. This has been Talks and Tea with me, Tonya Nicole, and our special guest, Maxine Johnson. Peace. My mama said she hates when I do that.